Jack Hanma taking Baki's stance while wearing an outfit similar to his was yet again another unexpected surprise in Baki Rahen, but something I'm very glad is still the case was shown as well. Pickle's unmatched durability after receiving many strikes from Jack during this chapter, and leading up to something amazing we could be getting right now in their fight. The most recent chapter concluded with the announcer claiming this match simply cannot be decided with strikes, meaning the almighty biting is about to begin, and last time they tried biting one another in the story, the almighty kiss iconic moment occurred, meaning we could be getting it again, with both Jack and Pickle thinking of this moment since they reunited, meaning it has to happen at this point. Now before I break everything that was revealed so far in the Jack and Pickle fight, take note that Baki Rahen is once again on break unfortunately. Chapter 29 will be releasing on around the 12th of September. If you guys haven't already, join the Discord, leaks will be posted in there alongside the translated chapter and any more information that comes out on the way. Free to join, link in the description. But let's get into all the goodness this week. So as we know, the fight officially began with 2 fouls, which is expected from these 2 monsters. Pickle waiting patiently, and the second he gets a chance, going for the attack, or more so bite, as we learned in a previous chapter that Pickle does in fact want to consume Jack, but also likely wants to fight him, as we've seen from Pickle at various other points throughout the series. His main thing is feud, but he also has that fighting instinct similar to the Hanmas, which I believe is going to be highlighted heavily once again in this fight. While Jack, of course, just wants to get that revenge, wants Pickle to feel what he felt in the past after facing those humiliating defeats. But one of the strangest things is how Jack is acting like Baki, walking out with an outfit similar to him, and now taking his fighting stance is something that I don't know what he's doing. It's a little strange. We have no information from Jack or anyone who's pointed out in the series. Is this something he's doing for whatever reason? Even taping up his wrists like Baki does in the past? But it's also important to note that the bite when they first interacted in the street did actually damage Jack, as we see a bandage on his trap here. Meaning while the initial panels of Pickle biting Jack didn't really seem like it did anything, it did in fact damage him, which I believe is a good touch to include because that whole moment was a little wacky. But something that the story just can't get enough of telling us is that Jack is a striker, a top class one. Ever since his return in the previous manga with his fight against Sukune, every fight since then they've reminded us that Jack is a striker, a top tier one, and I think that's for a good reason, to compare characters when facing Jack strikes. For example, we have Sukune, who yes was able to tank a few blows, but in the end was completely dropped by Jack's strikes, highlighting the Hanma's capability right away. And then the second time we got to see it in his Kosho fight, we saw that they're still powerful, but someone who is specialized in dodging one's blows can actually succeed with it, demonstrating that regardless of Jack being top tier, this isn't his main fighting style. His Gao Dao, the way to biting, is truly what makes Jack deadly. Meaning for most of the fights, he more so tests his opponent with the strikes alone, then slowly leads into the bites to conclude it, with him showing a similar strategy throughout every fight so far. Begin with the strikes, or begin with a bite to pretty much damage his opponent somewhat, nerf them, as the blood loss aspect is a key thing that's been occurring in every fight, switch the strikes to pretty much prolong the fight, and then mix in some other bites. But whether or not this is going to work on Pickle is the main question we have next. He's able to land strike with no problem, but it doesn't seem like Pickle is taking the fight right now 100% serious. He outright tanks the blow from Jack, or more so does not fall, standing proud as we see in this goated panel here, and even smiling at him as he continues to land more strikes that yes, clearly damage Pickle and leave some impact, but aren't capable of actually dropping him, at least compared to the initial exchange in the street where Pickle went flying on his back. Which could be used to say maybe Pickle wasn't 100% serious in the street, while now he's prepared for the fight and highlighting how built different he truly is, which now requires me to remind all of you guys some key aspects about Pickle throughout the series. In every fight we've seen him have, he has never been knocked out or really truly faced defeat. We've had times where he's ran away from his opponent, for example when facing Masashi Miyamoto, and other moments where he was pretty much shown that this isn't his fight, when he tried pulling up during the father-son fight and he was humbled by Baki real quick, even losing one of his fangs, demonstrating that even in moments where he's outclassed, you could say, Pickle hasn't really been knocked out or left unconscious to demonstrate an absolute defeat in the entire Baki series, meaning it's very possible that his fight against Jack right now will be the first time we actually have something like that, whether it be from the strikes or more likely the case from Jack's various bites with a blood loss aspect occurring. The first ever true defeat of Pickle in the series, where maybe he tries running away but Jack stops him and continues the onslaught, similar to what Baki did in their fight during the underground as well. But with all this said, it seems like Pickle's main strategy is once again going for his bites. Jack was able to land a clean counter and even more blows that has Pickle, yes, taking damage, but again, just not falling, showing his durability still being number one in the whole verse, which is probably going to remain the way for the entire series. It's probably even safe to argue that when it comes to raw strength, Pickle is likely number one. Yes, there's argumentation using statements and some narrator claims about Yujiro to argue that he's number one. But again, as a reminder, if you look at the Yujiro and Pickle exchange at the start of his arc, Pickle was indeed able to overpower the ogre when it comes to raw strength alone, which is confirmed with the, I guess, most official translations looking at the anime season. Therefore, since then, this has likely remained the same, meaning stat-wise Pickle will always be a monster, which was also pointed out by Baki in a recent chapter, talking about how fighting spirit, physical power, durability, etc. Pickle by a mile over someone like Jack, but Jack is different due to his evolution when it comes to his fighting style, creating his own martial art, not just being a solely savage beast with his fighting, incorporating it with various strategies, and of course training dedicated to improve this aspect, with Jack yet to demonstrate his new biting evolution to Pickle, which I believe is going to happen in the next chapter. But one more major thing we need to mention right now is that Hanma is shown in this chapter and watching this fight, which I believe is very important for the future of the series. For the first time ever recently in Baki, Jack and Pickle formally met, with the biting cyborg not knowing who even Hanma was, which to a lot of us was very strange, but looking back at the entire series, they had never been really in the same location or had spoken before, and now that Hanma is directly watching current Jack fight, someone he knows very well, Pickle, we're going to have potentially more setup for Jack's future fight against Hanma, or maybe a Pickle fight against Hanma if he does survive this fight, which some people believe is not going to be the case. A reminder, when looking at the voting from you guys, most of us believe that Jack is going to be the winner of this fight. However, don't completely disregard Pickle considering his insane resume and lack of a true defeat in the series so far, in my opinion, with his toughness being off the charts, forcing Jack to only really rely on his bites when it comes to the future of this. I also have a second channel known as Mysterious Chad with a new Baki video on it, revealing a tier list of current Baki characters ranked weakest to strongest, with a lot of characters being included. Definitely recommend subscribing to that channel. Shout out to the members here, these absolute mad lads. Thanks for the support. More videos coming soon. That's it guys. Peace.